Today's Toy Spot, we are having a look at the Hasbro Transformers Combiner Wars Decepticon Dragstrip. This member of the Stunticons can transform to either leg or the arm for Menasor. He does have a component, I'll show you guys when we get this open up, that can serve as either the hand or the foot for Menasor. He also includes a collector's card, which is kind of neat. I don't really know what I'm going to do with the card yet, but I do appreciate that they come included. Speaking of which, speaking of artwork, I guess, the artwork on Dragstrip's back card is really impressive. In fact, I can go farther to say that all the artwork that they've been putting on the Combiner Wars cards are very, very cool. Spin around the side, there is a picture of, surprisingly enough, Superion. Down below there is Menasor. This is one of 5, by the way, of components to build Menasor. The back of the package shows not only Dragstrip in car mode, but also in robot mode. Brief read-up says, Ruthless Decepticon Racer. That's all it says. It becomes the arm or the leg for Menasor, and other figures available in this set, which will be Series 1. There's Dragstrip, Skydive, Silverbolt, Alpha Bravo, and Firefly. To check out more from Hasbro, you can go to www.hasbro.com. Spot's going to take a break and get this opened up. When we come back, we're going to get a better look at Hasbro's Transformers Generations Combiner Wars Dragstrip. There's more heading your way, guys. Don't go anywhere. Stay tuned. So, having a look at Dragstrip, let's first have a look at him in his Formula 1 race car mode. A very nice update to the original Generation 1 Dragstrip, which Spot still luckily has in his collection. Coloring is about the same as before as well. A nice golden yellow, the lighter purple in there as well for accents, and of course a Decepticon logo on the very front. The silver around the trim of the tires. Very, very nice looking piece. It's a good size too, and I'm glad that with Hasbro releasing these, they're not smaller scale pieces. It's a good size in and of itself that, even if you don't add it to Menasor, he still stands pretty good as a good high tall figure. Like, he's not very small. He does roll very easily. There's no issues at all with tire clearance. He does also come with a couple of other accessories. Of course, he comes with his card, Dragstrip card, which is different actually than the picture that was on the front back board of the toy. On the back, it doesn't give you any stats or any read-ups or anything like that, but pretty nice looking card. He does also come with a gun, which also serves as a kind of a bladed weapon, depending on your preference. And of course, then he comes with a component for Menasor. Now, this component will serve as not only the fist, but also the foot of Menasor, depending on how you want it. In race car mode, you can still take the foot and or hand, and you can peg it. There's a little hole on the bottom there. You can peg it to the top of the car. Give you something like that. That kind of sort of looks like it did in the Generation 1 toy, because they all had guns and stuff like that you could fit on the top. This, what will be its thumb for Menasor, having it kind of wrap around, kind of looks like the old gun where it pegged into the back and then you had the gun sitting on the top of the car. What you can also do too is take the peg point for the combiner mode, and it can peg into the sides as well. It's a little more ridiculous, mind you, yes, but you can take both the sword gun and the regular foot part, and you can plug those into the sides. Why you would want to do that, you probably don't want to, but you can do that as well. Just take that to the side, unplug that. Vehicle mode, though, very impressive. I love the look of the vehicle. Transformation for Dragstrip is pretty easy. It's not a complex transformation at all. First thing you want to do is separate out the arms. You don't really need those just yet. You can take the whole back carriage of the car and just pull it out like that. Just pop it out like this. And you want to then swivel it and untab the legs from one another. And you have something that looks like that. Spin around the vehicle mode. Straighten out the legs if so wish. And then all you have to do then is just take the top part here, attach the head, and then move this section back. And then that just folds back like that. Take the arms bend at the elbow, and then just reach in to the fists, bring those out. And that, just like that, there you have Dragstrip. Transformation is very easy, and I love that they're not complex. And we just adjust the shoulders. There we go. I love that the transformation isn't complex. It needs to do exactly, well, it does exactly what it needs to do. It's not an overly complicated transformer. It gives you, a race car right to robot mode in, well, what was it, 9 steps or so. It's not complex. I like that. The face on Dragstrip is really interesting, and I can't quite place where I've seen this face before. It's kind of got a kind of jagged section out from the eye area. There is no light piping, and personally, I'm not really big on light piping anyways. I prefer painted in faces rather than light piping. But robot mode is very cool. I love the look of Dragstrip. A very updated take once again to the old Generation 1 toy. Wish I had the Generation 1 toy of Dragstrip just kicking around here. I would have done a comparison between the two. I'm not really sure where I've got those guys sitting right now. They're boxed away somewhere. But he looks pretty complete all the way around. Like even in the back sections where you expect like hollow open areas, looks pretty finished and complete. And that is a test of a truly perfect design on a Transformer. When you start flipping around, you're like, oh, I can't really show it from there because there's big open areas. No, Dragstrip looks pretty complete all the way around. He does have articulation. His head is on a ball joint, so it moves very easily there. He does have a ball joint in the shoulder socket, and the areas, this area right here also hinges, and more related to the transformation. He has hinges in the elbows, legs, nice articulation in the legs there. They swivel at the thigh, a bend at the knee. Yeah, a very complete looking Dragstrip. I guess really, if only he had had heels, something on the back there to kind of keep him from falling over. But, he seems to stand pretty good on his own. You can take the gun sword, and you can either peg it into his hand like that and have it like a sword, or what you can also do too is peg it into his hand and have it more like a gun. Not really sure which way I would have it. Probably more so like a gun. That way, if he's going to be displayed, he's going to be displayed, with a gun in his hand. I don't picture Stunticons to be really, knife wielding. I guess if they're more like gangs, like a biker gang, he might maybe have it more like a sword. But you can still peg in the sword, or really for that matter, you can also peg in, the guns to the sides there. It won't really look in place to have it on the side, but you can do that. You can also take, there is the peg right there once again. You can take this and just snap it into the back. If you want to just kind of keep it concealed, if you don't really have it in combiner mode, at least this kind of just keeps it out of the way. And you can also fold the, you can also take this section here and bring it in. If you want to just kind of hide it a little bit better. And this just clips onto the back like that. But it's entirely up to you. I mean, probably the likelihood people are going to be buying like the Stunticons, they're going to be likely building Menasor. They're not going to be displaying the Stunticons individually. But you know what? Don't want to take anything away from Dragstrip. On his own, he's a great looking Decepticon. So to get Dragstrip into leg mode, basically you just want to transform him back into car mode. So snap the two legs together and take this, spin it around, slide it in, take the arms, fold them in, the hands, fold them in, straighten out the arms, bring in the shoulder areas, bring them down like that, bring the other one down like that, just tab it into place like that, and then take his head, bring it back like this, take this section of the car, spin it around, make sure you don't get it stuck on his head. It doesn't really peg into place, but it does and it doesn't. Like there's the hole there that will be from the underside of his car mode, but it doesn't really snap into place. It just kind of sits in that socket. Take the head and bring that back, and then you're going to want to reach in. This is the hardest part. Reach in with your finger. Sometimes you can get, there we go, just going to get it started up here. Bring the connector point out, like that. And then take the, this isn't going to stand, but take this section right here, and you want to make sure that it is fully flat in foot mode. And then take the foot, pegs that into place, and there you have him in foot mode. And I guess you could have it like this, or you can also have it like that, depending on your preference. I'm trying to remember, I think actually, I want to think like the original Stunticons, they were facing the opposite way. They weren't facing this way, they were facing this way. But I mean, for more design purposes, you can have the foot looking like that. As for his arm mode, which is probably the way that most people are going to do it, because the original Generation 1 toy, most people, myself included, had Dragstrip as an arm, then a leg. To get him into leg mode, pretty much just keep it the way it is. You can take the connector point, you want to make sure that that's out of the way, and then you want to take the arms, just untab them from the sides of the car mode, and you want to spin them around. Spin it around and spin it around like that, making sure, of course, it's, you don't have it obstructed against anything. Take the arms here, make sure you spin it the right way. Take the arm, spin it the right way, and then you want to connect. There we go. Connect the two together to give you something that kind of looks like that. Actually, one thing that you'll also want to do too is bring these down to the sides. You basically want it to look something that looks like this. Then from there, you can take the arm area here, extend out the legs, and pretty much just like that, you've got yourself the arm component for Menasor. Take the foot and reach your finger in there and bring the fingers out, and take this whole back section and bring it forward, and then you'll have a hand piece. And actually the hand is pretty impressive for articulation in the thumb. There's a little bit of articulation in the bottom of the palm area there, and then articulation in the four fingers. That will just peg into the bottom, same place as the foot part plugged in. And there you have Dragstrip in his arm mode. These little sections don't really lock into place, not well at least, but there you have him in his arm mode. Again, my preferred method is probably going to be having him as arm, just because whenever I had him in Menasor mode, the old Generation 1 toy, I always had Dragstrip as the arm, and then I had the other ones as the feet. But so yeah, there you go. There he is in arm mode. Dragstrip is another example of why I'm loving the Combiner Wars pieces so much. Transformation are nice and easy. It's not overly complex. I love also the fact that Hasbro has decided to do combiners. Finally, we can go back and start transforming and merging these robots into big behemoths like Menasor. This is the first one that Spots had to look at, but guaranteed I'm going to be finishing up and building Menasor. Menasor is actually one of my favorite Combiner Gestalts, and definitely looking forward to getting him at least finished. Superion I'm going to complete as well, but my soft spot actually is for Menasor. Today's Toy Spot, we were having a look at the Hasbro Transformers Combiner Wars. We're looking at Stunticon Dragstrip. Thanks for watching as you always do, guys. Certainly stay tuned. Spot's going to have more Transformer videos heading your way. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.